And now then, we really have brought the whole show to the forest today. That includes our celebrity guests.
Yeah, Midsomer murder star Neil Dudgeon has made it to our clearing. But before we talk to him, here's a look ahead to the latest murder in Britain's most dangerous village.
Oh, I see. Just brilliant.
I'm wishing away until Sunday so I can watch it.
It's feel-good. That's what it is, isn't it? Much like the slow gin that we seem to have ended up with in our hands.
I don't know how that got there.
Neither do I.
Magic.
This is its 10th anniversary for you as DCI John Barnaby.
Oh,
so how do you feel looking back on it?
Well, it's fantastic. I was thinking on the way up here, actually, there's been a lot of stuff about Daniel Craig coming out and leaving James Bond, and I thought we probably must have entered the two franchises at roughly the same time, and obviously we were about the same age, and we're playing a similar sort of character who is there to right wrongs and, you know, do marvellous, exciting escape.
Although the difference being he is finishing and you are not.
You're
well,
not going
he was always a
anywhere.
bit of a lightweight, Dan, when I knew him. So, you know, he's all right for a while, but then he's had all sorts of terrible accidents with his stunts and things, haven't he? Whereas I have the lovely now Nick Hendricks is there to do my stunts for me.
Yeah.
I say, chase that villain through the woods and through all that manure and then swim across that river, and he runs off and does it, so I don't have to do that.
But so, you know, I can understand why you get that job and you just stay there forever because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's the best show on telly. I absolutely love and adore it. It's 22nd series now. So in people's hearts, they love it. Even more so in lockdown, people would go and watch it, whether that be new episodes or whether that be going back to the vast back catalogue.
I think it's, yes, I thought it was a bit curious at the time that during COVID and all the terrible, you know, all the terrible things that were going on, that people would turn to a series that is quite a lot about murder and death for a bit of light relief. But maybe, yes, it's quite sort of escapist. And you've got the beautiful countryside.
Yes.
I'm glad to see you've now embraced that yourselves.
Yes,
you've joined us in the love of the countryside. So, yeah, people have found it a joyous escape from the horrors of real life.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fact that you have had the principal role for 10 years is one thing, but you were in it in 2000, weren't you, in Series 4?
Yes, I was the saucy gardener.
You were?
I was a young and saucy gardener. Have you got a picture of me looking young and saucy? I bet you have.
I wish we did. I wish we did.
Oh,
we
you
actually got
footage of it.
Oh, you have?
We could
Here you go.
one step
there
further.
you go.
Where is it? No, that's not it. Oh no, this is me.
This is the new one.
No, this is me starting as the policeman.
Oh, this
no,
is
in my
early
previous
days.
incarnation, I was a saucy gardener who had eyes for John Nettles's then wife, who now turns out to be sort of the wife of my current character's cousin.
So is this is you here now, is it?
There it is.
Is that you?
There it is.
Well, that's
We
me
just
now.
got it.
That's me sitting here in front of you.
No, we had it there. There it is. There it is. Because we've got a slight delay on our monitor. That's
He
why.
looks like a young Dan Craig, doesn't he?
There you go.
I think they must have been a trick, the James Bond people, didn't they?
The episode this weekend.
Yes.
So this, even though for me it's very much like a traditional kind of murder mystery anyway, it's even more so this time. It's got a touch of the Cluedos about it.
It is. They've done
it?
quite a brilliant thing where they've made it. It's a murder mystery country house party weekend. Whilst there's a terrible storm is lashing the country, and then a bad thing happens near the beginning of the country weekend. So Barnaby and Winter turn up to investigate, and then the great storm, the ferry is washed away, and everybody's trapped in this house on the island with a murderer.
Who done
it?
it?
And Barnaby and Winter are trapped there as well. And obviously they have to sort of set up their office in their bedroom by sort of pinning clues to the bedroom wall and borrowing a set of jams and chasing people around the grounds
You've
in
actually
the night.
said that you think, for you, this could be one of the best.
Everybody I know who has seen it, who has watched all of Midsomer, they all say it's one of their favourite Midsommers that we've ever made. And I think it's partly that it has that real classic. We're all trapped in a house on an island in a storm.
A touch of Agatha Christie to it.
Oh, very Agatha Christie. It's very it's kind of very classic. Classic Midsomer, classic whodunit kind of thing. And we've got Caroline Quentin's in it, who I last worked with on a comedy series about 10 years ago, Life of Riley. So it's lovely to have her there. Adrian Edmondson's in it. Rachel Sterling is in it. So we've got a fantastic cast all trapped on this lovely murderous island.
And that is Sunday, 8 p.m. on ITV
8 p.m. It's
when
a
we
lot
can
of
watch
fun.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me when I came down to pay. It's one of the best days of my life. It was like Disney World for me.
It was a great... it didn't spoil any illusions that you had about how it's made or anything.
It actually just made me realise... I mean, obviously, you're brilliant at what you do, but also just seeing it happen in real time, like how quick you all are, how you just know what you're doing. Like, It was just so brilliant.
Well,
It was so brilliant.
I have to say, we were all very impressed that you just kind of stepped up. We'll do a line run and rehearse the scene a bit. And, of course, we, as actors, all kind of go, well, Dorothy, what is it? What's her name? Is it Dorothy? What's my line? And all that. And, of course, Holly just stepped up, went bum, 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 did it.
That is not necessarily quite true.
That's what I saw. That's all I could see was that you just did it beautifully. And,
you are being very kind. I was so embarrassed to open my mouth and act, because you know that I'm not brilliant at that sort of stuff. So I walked around, and to anybody that would listen, I said my 2 lines repeatedly at them.
It's rather more than 2 lines, let me say that. It's rather more than 2 lines. But that's great. You've got to do that. You've got to rehearse. You've got to practice to get better at anything. And if you turn up and you're too frightened to practice and you go, oh, I can't do it, and then the first time you hear it is when you're on camera, then obviously you go, oh, what am I doing? But you handled all that beautifully.
Well, are you killed?
Like an actress.
I can't
You can't give away things like that.
Do you get out of there alive?
I cannot say
Don't say anything. Don't tell him anything.
I won't
you see, this is what it's like for me every time I go to Sainsbury's. I say Sainsbury's. People are saying, what's going to happen? I can't tell you.
No.
Sealed.
Don't give it away.
No.
You enjoyed it, though?
The best time.
Yeah.
Literally the best
Honestly,
time
it was
ever.
great for all of it. It was like we had a royal visit.
Yeah.
It was marvellous.
Well, I love
It
your
was
commitment to the show, because you're a big fan of Fulham. And you would go down and see Fulham at Craven Cottage.
Yeah.
But you had the opportunity to go, but because you were going to mix with so many cast and crew members, you decided not to go.
When the old one of the lockdowns ended and football supporters were allowed back at games, as a season ticket holder at Fulham, I could enter the lottery for a ticket for Fulham's first home game with a crowd there against Liverpool.
Wow.
That I obviously very much wanted to go to. And then somebody else said to me, who knew people at Fulham, said, I've got you a ticket at Fulham. So I ended up with 2 tickets for this game that I really wanted to go to. But I thought, if I go there and I get something and I come back to Midsomer and I spread it around the crew, the whole show kind of stops for whatever, 2 weeks, something like that, apart from, the health implications for loved ones of crew and everybody. So I threw myself on my season ticket and thought, no, I can't do it. I will stay at home and I will miss that game.
That is commitment. Did Fulham win?
You've got to suffer for your art and make a sacrifice. Did they win?
Did they win?
I doubt it. It was when they were in the Premier League. They didn't really... No, they won at Liverpool. They beat Liverpool at Liverpool, so I think they must have lost when they were out.
Oh, so you didn't miss a...
Well, you've got to support through thick and thin. You can't just be a fair weather supporter. You've got to support them through... I was there last night, seeing them beat Swansea. In preparation for this morning.
So you didn't care too much about bringing it into this particular production?
No, because everybody was wearing masks and
we're outdoors.
it's all fine.
We're outdoors.
It'll be fine now. We've all been vaccinated.
It's so lovely to see you. Always lovely to see you. Midsomer Murders, Sunday at 8 on ITV.
Lovely to be in this completely bonkers place, I must say. I can't believe I'm doing all this like we're sat in a studio and then, whoosh, the studio disappeared and we're sat surrounded by trees.
Well, you did actually sit down before we started the interview and said it looks like your studio's been stolen.
And nobody but me had noticed. It's like the Emperor's new clothes. Everybody goes, no, the studio it always looks like this. Where are the walls? Where's the building? We invented buildings centuries ago. Try it. Because we got sick of all this.
Oh, God, thank you very much.
So nice to see you.
Lovely to see you. Thank you for having me.